Have you ever been weighed down by writer's block and you can't really put your finger on why? Well, here on the Zoe Marley channel, we are going to be exploring writer's block, all of the different types of writer's blocks that you can encounter and ways to solve them. In this specific video, I'm going to be going over how you can beat writer's block just by raising your vibrations. And I know, you're like, yo Zoe, what are you talking about? Bear with me. I've warned you guys before that I am a total hippie, that I love philosophy, that I'm very spiritual. So a little bit of that is going to be bleeding into this specific lecture on how to conquer writer's block. If this is your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome. You are in for a fun ride. Not only do I do little things like Motivation Mondays, but I also try and give tips and techniques about how to improve your storytelling throughout the week. If that's something you're interested in, check out my channel, hit subscribe. I'm totally glad to have you a part of the family. Let's get into it. First comes to first is remove negative self-talk. Now look, I'm gonna be totally honest with you here. I don't know where I picked it up from. I don't know where I got it. But even as a child, I was a totally negative person. I never thought I was good enough. I wanted to stay in the corner. I hated feeling vulnerable, and it just never really got better. That's not to say I was totally miserable every day of my life. I think that's impossible. But for the most part, when it came to really doing stuff that I really wanted to do, that I really wanted to conquer, it felt safe to stay back. It felt safe to say, oh, you can't do that. And so I just never tried. I never failed. I never learned. I never grew. That was easy to do. And it all started with negative self-talk. It wasn't until I found myself in the middle of an absolutely horrible marriage, pregnant, not sure what I was going to do next. I lived 3,000 miles away from my home, my family, and I had no one for support. And it was in that moment that I realized that I had to change. I had to do something because I wasn't going to be miserable for the rest of my life. I wanted to be happy, and I wanted my son to be happy. I wanted us to have a happy life, even if it wasn't that stereotypical normal life, right? Well, there were a few things that I did and implemented that helped me beat negative self-talk, and that was hands down the very first thing that I had to do in order to really believe in myself. And so if you have a block, there's a reason for that block. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be going over different reasons you could have writer's block. But the first one is to make sure that you have the right mentality of you can do this and you believe in yourself. So here are a few things that I personally did to help conquer negative self-talk. The first thing is to verbalize positive affirmations. I know this is about as corny as it gets, guys. You're like, you really want me to stand in front of a mirror and say that I'm pretty? Not exactly, but I do want you to nestle down, get into a wonderful, calm, happy place. I find that I'm in this place first thing in the morning. I am an early bird. I love the morning time, and that is really when my magic happens, right? The kids are still sleeping and I just have some me time. So I say things like, I can conquer any obstacle that gets in my way as long as I put my mind to it. I also say things like, you will succeed because you will not give up. Or, this is what you're made to do. So why do you keep thinking you can't do it? You can. Believe in yourself. Again, super corny, but doing that every single day really worked well for me. I don't need it as much as I used to need it. And here's a little fun fact. 99% of what you think is the exact same thing that you thought yesterday. And so if you find yourself in this negative mode and you have all of these really just hard, dark thoughts that you're going through, in addition to seeking professional help, I really believe that by setting daily affirmations, for putting these good things in place, eventually you're training your brain how to rethink. And that 99% of the stuff that you are regurgitating the next day and the day after and the day after and the day after, all of that is going to be more positive. So yes, it's corny. Yes, there's a spiritual reason behind it, but there's also science behind it. So the next way that you can remove negative self-talk is to also have a gratitude journal. This is mine. It says, be happy. How simple is that? But that's how I believe. I have this bright bluish color, which is like, to me, one of the happiest colors in the world. And so this is what I use to write in my journal. And I am just saying, thank you. You know, thank you for the life that I have. Thank you for my smiling kids. Thank you for letting me be independent. Thank you for bringing me back to my passion. Yes, COVID is terrible, but thank you for giving me the opportunity to reconnect and rekindle with what I love. Even though I don't do the positive affirmations every single day, still to this day, I do still write every single day in my gratitude journal. Again, it's that first thing in the morning. It sets the tone for my day. I absolutely love it. I will not change that about myself. And it allows me to have just this wonderful and beautiful mindset. The last part of the negative self-talk is to remove naysayers from your life. And I don't care what anyone says. This is hard. Regardless if it's a friend or a family, there's a reason you connect to these people. There's a reason these people are in your life. But at the end of the day, if they're bringing you down, if they're preventing you from growing, if they are making you sad, you need to just love them from afar. Be there for them when they need you, but for the most part, do not let them poison your mindset. Do not let them infect how you believe in yourself. That isn't healthy. My second suggestion for raising your vibrations is to quit comparing yourself to others. This is the age of social media. We are constantly seeing what we don't have. But here's the thing, is you never see the full picture. You never get the entire picture. You don't know everything behind that one photo, behind this one video, whatever the case may be. You don't know the full story. So quit comparing yourself. If your personal life is not bringing you happiness, you're not a tree. You can move. You can change. But don't let the source of your unhappiness be just because someone has it to what you think and what you feel and what you see is technically better. I think another thing, aside from just social media, aside from seeing like this one awesome picture that gets captured that we tend to do as a society, is I also think that we have a tendency to compare our first steps to someone's like 80th step, right? Let me give you an example. I started this YouTube channel about 2 months ago, and it's awesome. I have been learning so much, but there are other better YouTubers out there in this specific niche, right? I mean, you got Jenna, who is just quirky and wonderful and so lovable. Another one is Abby, is the Ask Abby. Oh my gosh, if I could edit and cut and get straight to the point like she could, I mean, it's just incredible what these ladies do. So yeah, I ask myself, why would I ever put myself out there when there are already so many people that do wonderful things? And the truth is that I had questions that no one was answering. And so I got a different perspective. I got a unique take. But as far as what I was doing in that specific moment, in that specific time, is I was comparing not even my first step to what Jenna's been doing for 4 years. And if you really think about that, that can really get you down. That can really demotivate you. That could really put this blockage up here saying, oh, you can't, you can't, you can't. And boom, you're right back into negative self-talk. And the truth is that you can't compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 5 or your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. Lastly, to help raise your vibrations, guys, you got to take care of yourself. You got to get sleep. You have to eat right. I am no one to preach this specific point, right? I am the first one to dig into fast food. I am the first one to call Pizza Hut when I'm too busy to cook dinner. I'm the first one to do it. And I have been actively trying to change that for 2-3 months now. And I can't tell you how much better I feel. I also recently in October cut out caffeine. And it was a bad 2 weeks, guys. It was a really bad 2 weeks. But I feel so much better now. I don't feel like I need 4 to 6 shots of espresso in order to get through the day. And lastly, Get out of the house. I know right now is an especially tough time, but go outside, go to your patio, sit, meditate, or go for a walk. Go to the woods. Go somewhere where there aren't other people. Do it safely, do it soundly. But at the end of the day, don't keep yourself locked into your house just because you don't think you can go enjoy fresh air. You can. You just have to be creative about how you do it. All right, y'all, that is everything I have on how to beat the writer's block. I will be continuing these Motivation Mondays, and for another about 4 or 5 videos, I'm going to be focusing on other ways that you can beat writer's block, depending on what type of writer's block you're encountering. So here's just some ideas of what's coming your way in the future weeks. 1, how to change your mindset as you're actually writing. So today was an overview about just general positivity in your life. But next week, we're gonna be talking about what you can do when you're sitting at the computer, when you're writing in a book, whatever you do, how you can change your mindset in those moments. 2nd is just when you're stuck. You're in the middle of your story and you have no idea where to go next, or you know where you wanna go, but somehow you just can't get there. What do you do? 3, creative burnout. And then 4, what to do when you don't just have writer's block, but your writing routine is failing. In addition to these videos, I will be dropping videos on Thursday to help with tips and techniques to improve your storytelling. Can't wait to see you. Bye!